Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about Warp Citadel on easy mode in under 10 minutes. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So Warp Citadel is rather simple. We're simply going to start over here. We're going to run across right here. We're going to kill all the mobs here and then move to that door over there. The door will not open until you kill all these mobs. Once you've killed all the mobs, you'll see the doors open. You simply go up there and you'll be able to fight the mini boss. So here is the first boss. He's quite simple. Basically, you can fail all the mechanics here. He will target the 3 furthest people when phase starts and give them a color. You can ignore the color and just continue to DPS. If you are the tank, just stay close to the boss at all times and continue to DPS. His pizza attack does very little damage, so you can either just iframe it or just face tank it. It doesn't really matter, and just keep hitting it until he dies. You can see we're just literally DPSing, and boom, he goes into phase right here. You can party stealth that if you want, or you can just self iframe it like what I did. And next he's going to conjure the hex circles, and you're going to notice that we're going to get colors on our head. So you can see over here that I have a green circle on my head. I also know that I have a green color over here. So the green pillar's over here. I could go over there if I wanted to do the mechanic, or I can just stand here and continuously DPS. It doesn't really matter. In this case, I probably just DPS. So you see I'm hitting. He targets the orange pillar over here, and as you can see over here, Alesti has the orange buff, but she doesn't care. She just stays here and continues to DPS, as we are going to fail the mechanic on purpose. So you see it's going to fail the mechanic, and you'll notice that Alesti as well as our tank got switched places because this is part of the mechanic, and it doesn't really matter. Just know that if you have a color on your head, you will be switching places with the tank during phase. So don't panic when that happens. So again, then you see that he does this pizza attack on the tank. You can either iframe this or face tank it. It doesn't matter. It does very little damage. So boom. So we failed once. Because we failed the mechanic, you will get flashbang like that. To avoid that flashbang, simply have your back facing the orange pillar. The orange pillar is the one that will flashbang you. So as long as your back is facing it and you're not looking at it, you will not get flashbanged like that. Next you see he targets the green pillar. I can go into it like what I did here if I wanted to. It doesn't matter. You see immediately I get switched spots with the tank, and then I can go into the pillar right here if I want, or I can just continue to DPS. So you can see over here that I'm moving towards the pillar which has the timer. I don't have to do it. However, if you do have the orange colored one, and if you do the mechanic, the party will not get flashbanged. So if you do have the orange color, just pay attention to that. You could help your party out a little bit. However, it's not necessary. You see over there, bam, now I've did the mechanic. However, you don't need to do it. You can fail the mechanic on purpose. As you can see, because I did the mechanic successfully, he does a third phase, which is basically targets the third pillar, the third color. And once 2 of these pillars fail, once 2 people fail their mechanics, it'll say the energy of the hex circle stone reverses and explodes, and basically does a room-wide AoE. It doesn't kill you, you can iframe it. However, it's just signifying that you failed the mechanic. So you can just iframe that, boom, and continue to DPS. And he'll immediately go into the next phase, which is the exact same thing. So again, just pay attention to your color. I got very lucky, I got green again. However, it's not guaranteed that you will always get the same color. So you see this time I'm just jumping around DPSing and just killing the boss. And that's all you need to do. So you don't even need to do any mechanic and just keep DPSing. Keep in mind, you will do less DPS on this boss if you do not do the mechanics, because this boss does have a buff that increases its defense, so you will deal less damage to this boss. So don't be too depressed if you're looking at your DPS and you're going like, why am I doing so little damage? You will deal roughly about like 50% less DPS on this boss. So just keep that in mind. And bada bing, bada boom, he's dead. So let's move on to the next boss. So over here is the next mini boss. It's a chicken. Tank is going to go in close to the boss. Everyone else also dogpile the boss. Stay as close as possible. If you don't DPS him fast enough, he will target the furthest person. If you're the furthest person and you have the symbol on top of your head, simply circle tank the boss. You just run clockwise or run counterclockwise. He will shoot this garlic breath at you, this yellow gas. Just make sure that you keep the garlic breath away from the party so that the party can continuously DPS, as it does daze them. So we're going to see that there. You see everyone simply dogpiles. You see that I get hit backwards, and bada bing, we're attacking. I don't know who got the mark, but whatever, the boss is dead. So it's relatively simple, you just DPS. And now let's move on to the last boss. So over here is the last boss. Keep in mind, if you have a full party of 6 people, the 3 furthest people are going to be sent into soul separation, while the 3 closest people will not get sent into soul separation. So just communicate this beforehand. Just remember that the map is split in half. The people who are going into soul separation stay on the right side always, never go to the left side. If you're not going into soul separation, stay on the left side and never go to the right side, because it will create a death zone in the middle, and if you cross this, you will die. So relatively simple. So over here, it's just DPS. You can see that if you are ranged, you simply stand at 16 meters and you're safe. You don't get hit by anything and you'll be sent into soul separation as long as the other side is melee or within less than 16 meters. So you see immediately we stun the boss. You don't even have to stun it, but it's good to stun because it does help the tank quite a bit. Then now he's going to cast these half pizzas. You cannot iframe these half pizzas anymore. They will hurt. So what I like to do is I just face tank it and I just tab escape backwards like that. Boom. And we just DPS. After he finishes the 2 pizzas, you need to KD the boss. You KD it. Again, it's not necessary to KD, but it does help the tank a lot. So next he's going to bind the soul and he's going to do quarter pizzas. So you just sidestep them. You can face tank these as well if you want. However, you cannot iframe them. You will take damage. So once that's complete, it's just straight up DPS. You just want to DPS the boss over and over and over. So from this phase until the end is just DPS him until he dies. And we're just going to see that. You can see here that the tank is rotating and he's trying to do the mechanic, but you don't have to do this. The tank can literally stand still, face tank all of these red attacks and just keep DPSing if they want. If they want to rotate, it's perfectly fine. Okay, next it's going to say this because we failed the mechanic. It's going to say that the Dread Prince goes into Berserk Rage because no one responded to the judgment, and then he's going to do a room-wide AoE. You cannot iframe this, however you can sheath this, because it's going to hit you multiple times and it'll knock you backwards. The only way to avoid that knockback is if you party sheath. If you use Home Moon Block, if you use your self iframe, it's not enough because it's 6 hits instead of 5. So you're going to do that, and immediately you're going to go straight into phase, which is the exact same thing again. This is why I said that it's very important that people in soul separation stay on the right side, people on the not going into soul separation stay on the left side, so that you never get killed by this mechanic when you go into soul sep or if you don't go into soul sep. However, if you are on the right side and you're doing soul separation, let's say that, you know, one of the melee characters gets blasted away to like, 20 meters and he gets sent into soul separation by accident, just note that you will not have this this blurry effect around your screen. If you don't have this blurry effect around your screen, you want to quickly run towards the left side because you did not get sent into soul separation. So just pay attention to that. And then again, it's the same thing. You're just going to DPS the boss. You're going to stun him at the very beginning when you got sent into soul separation. You're going to KD him after he does this half pizza, which you're going to face tank right here. It's a boom, I get hit. I'm going to tab escape back. I'm going to get ready to KD. And we're supposed to KD here, and luckily we did. So now we just DPS. If you fail to KD, it's fine. All that will happen is you will get dazed and you will get a little stack over here, which will hurt a little bit. The main reason why you want to stun in KD is to help the tank, because the tank will not survive if he has like a lot of stacks. And every time we fail that, he gets an extra stack, which really sucks for the tank. So there you go. And again, he's going to do his quarter pizzas. It's bada bing, bada boom. And it's DPS until he dies. And that's it, really. Very, very simple. And yeah, that's how you do the dungeon. Hopefully you found this guide useful. If you did, I would appreciate a subscribe. Or if you want to go that extra mile, please consider becoming a member. Speaking about members, I'd like to thank Gonzola B, Jeremy Chen, Nyana, Pearl Style, Lina Ren, Toots McGee, Solar Hero, ST Sintu, as well as Key for becoming members and supporting my channel. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Except you're welcome for the heals that boosts the rest.